Welcome to Chapter 7, Microsoft Word Mailings. The first thing we're going to do is open up a Word document, and we're going to have to search for a template. So I'm going to go to New, and up here I'm just going to type in letter template. I know on your directions they tell you a specific template to use, but if it's not listed here, don't worry about it. Just take one that you want to use. For example, I'm going to use the Earth Tones letterhead. So I'm going to double click on that and it's going to open up. Make sure that your show hide formatting marks are turned on, and then go to view and make sure your ruler is turned on because you need to see what's going on in the document. If you look, when I click on the date, you notice how it has all this space above and below. That's because these templates are formatted in a specific way that really does not correspond to the correct rules for block style letters. So we're going to have to do some changing of the spacing. So I'm going to do Control A. I'm going to go to Home, and I'm going to go to my paragraph dialog box, that little um, arrow, and then I'm going to make sure my before spacing is 0, my after spacing is 0, and then I'm going to put it on single spacing and click OK. Now you notice that my template looks a lot different now. Right, I'm going to go up here and click on date, and if you notice it highlights the whole thing in gray. That largely means in a template that you have to put in data. So I'm going to write in April, and then Microsoft gives you an automatic ability to add in the date, so I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to know that after the date in a block style letter, I need to return 3 times. So I'm going to 1, 2, oops, let's not do that. I'm going to go to the end. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Now, if you notice, I have my 3 hard returns, which are those backwards P's, but also notice that I have little spaces underneath that. That's not really right, but we're not going to worry about it at this point. I'm going to go to my salutation, and I'm going to click at the end and remove that space because I know I don't need it. I know I need a space after my dear recipients. And then I'm going to go down to warm regards, which is my complimentary close. If you notice that it's selecting the whole thing, that so it tells me that I need to type in the data, but I'm not going to put in a comma because I don't need it. And so I know that I need 3 paragraph markers between my complimentary close and the writer's name so that you can actually sign between the two. So I'm going to put in, oops, did that wrong here. We're going to hit enter 3. So I'm going to hit the enter key 3 times. There we go. And then I'm going to put in, oh, let's see, I got to go back here and fix this. I did something not right. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to go down here and put in my name or whoever the author is, the title. I'm going to put in my email address. If I hit my space bar once, it will underline it. And so then, and then before warm regards, my complimentary close, I know here I need to have a paragraph marker, but notice that I can't really select that data. So what I'm going to have to do is go get some fake data so that I can actually set my letter up correctly without running into too many problems. So I'm going to go into Google Chrome and I'm going to open up a new tab and I'm going to type in lipsum.com. This is a website that you can go to use to get just gibberish text. It's largely so that you can actually go in and set up your letter. I'm going to scroll down and I want it by paragraphs and I'm going to generate the lorem ipsum. So I'm going to click on that. And then I am going to select, I only need a couple paragraphs, so I'm going to select a couple. And if you notice that it doesn't make any sense, it's all gibberish text, which is fine because I don't need really anything in there right now. So I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to do Control V to paste it in. So it's now setting it up. And then notice that when I'm looking at my spacing, the spacing between paragraphs should be 1, but notice there is no hard return there. So I'm going to put my cursor at the end of the first paragraph, go up to my line spacing, and I'm going to remove that space. And then I can hit enter, and now I have my paragraph spacing. The same thing happens here. So if I put my cursor at the end of the last paragraph, go to my line spacing options, and say, like, what am I go right here? Maybe I'll go down below. I bet you I can remove it that way. Nope. So I'm going to put a cursor here. Actually, I'm just going to delete that, I think. I think I can just do that. Part of it is just figuring out remove space after paragraph is what I want. So then I'm going to hit enter, and now I have my spacing. After dear recipient, I know I only need one space, right? So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to remove, I'm going to hit enter. Let me go here. I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to try to get rid of that extra spacing. Remove space after paragraph. And now I have one paragraph marker. I'm going to scroll down, and I notice that I have extra spacing here. So I'm going to select these. And then I'm going to go to my line spacing option and say remove space after paragraph. Now those are set up correctly. Then I'm going to go after April. I'm going to select that spacing. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to say remove the space after paragraphs. Now I'm in good shape because after the date I have 3 blank lines, which hard returns, which is what I want. After my salutation I have 1. Between my paragraphs I have 1. And then before my complimentary close, I have 1. And then between my complimentary close, my writer's name, I have 1. So I have got this set up perfectly. So now I need to start my mail merge. So to do that, I'm going to put my cursor in front of Dear Recipients. And then I'm going to go to my Mailings tab. And I'm going to start my mail merge by clicking on Letters. Now it's not going to do anything in your document yet because we haven't added anything, but I do need to select my recipients. And then what you're going to find to get your recipient list, you need to go to your email account, and I have emailed out a database to you called Customers. And so then just download that to your flash drive underneath Chapter 7 so that you can actually use it for this letter. So I'm going to go down. I've already downloaded it to my flash drive. So I'm going to go get it right now. And I'm looking for my database called Customer. There it is. I'm going to double click on it. And my customer database is what I want. That has my customer information, like their mailing addresses. The orders have to do with the orders that they have. So I'm going to click on customers and then OK. And notice again, nothing happens. That's because we're still just setting up our mail merge. So I have started the mail merge. We've selected our recipient. I have my cursor in front of Dear Recipients, and now I want to add my address block, which is really my mailing address. I'm going to click on that, and if you notice that it has my mailing address right there, and I have my name, my street address, and my city, state, zip, that's fine. So I'm going to click OK. And if you notice, it just put in address block. That's perfect. So then I'm going to hit Enter key twice. So I have one space between my mailing address and my salutation. Now I want to get rid of this Dear Recipients. I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to go up to the greeting line, which is what Microsoft calls the salutation. I'm going to click on that. And here it says greeting line format, Dear Josh. And I know I don't want to use a comma. There should be no punctuation after that. So I have none. I'm going, and this is what it's going to look like. There's my preview. I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to hit enter. So now I have everything set up perfectly. I have 3 paragraphs after the date, 1 paragraph after, or a hard return after the address block, 1 after the greeting, 1 after each of my paragraphs, and then I have 3 after my complimentary close. So we're in good shape. And you want to make sure you have everything set up perfectly for your formatting. Otherwise, you have to go through and change all of them, which takes time. So now after I know that I'm pretty confident this is good, I am going to go preview results. And now it's going to show me what my document actually is going to look like with the mailing address and the salutation. So there we go. I might want to check this out. I'm going to go to home, and I want to make sure this is 12. And then I think I had Times New Roman, so I'm going to type in Times New Roman. So there we go. So now I got it the way I want. And the other thing I'm going to check is I want to check to make sure it's on 1. All right, now we're good. All right, and if you notice that I'm going to do Control A because you can either use Arial or you can do Times New Roman, but we definitely want 12. So now we're good. Now all of our size of our text and everything is the same size. There we go. It's perfect. So now I'm going to go back to my mailings, and I need to now make a mail merge that shows all of my customers. So I'm going to go to Finish and Merge. I want to edit individual documents, and I want all of them. I'm going to click OK. And then now if I scroll down, I have one to Jean. I have one to Cassandra. I have one to Nathan. And I have another one to Brenda. So there is my mail merge. So now here's the question. I'm going to go back to File, and we're going to open up a new document. I'm going to type in letter template. What happens if you have to skip someone in your mail merge? You don't really want them to actually receive the letter. So I'm going to scroll down here, and I'll just double click on this one. Oh, actually, I'm going to cancel it. I'm going to go and open up the same kind. All right, so I'm not going to format this again, but I am going to start a mail merge so that you can kind of see what's going on here. Oh no, I don't want to type in. That's how you type in a mail merge, but I want to go to an existing one because I want to show you how you skip records because you're going to be asked to do that as well. So you need to know that. So we're going to go into Word. Chapter 7. I'm going to get my original exercise database, customers. Okay, and we want customer here. Okay, and then now I'm going to insert my address block. Then I'm going to hit enter. And again, I'm not worried about the spacing. Now, if I want to skip someone, maybe I want to skip Nathan Katz, one of the people that's in my database. To do this, I go up to my rules and I say skip record if. And if I want to skip by ID, I can do ID, but I know his last name, so I'm going to type in last name. If it's equal to, and it's Katz, and say OK. Now you notice it puts in skip record if. We're going to preview. And again, this is not going to look right, but I want to show you how now it's going to skip him when it comes to the mail merge. So now I have a mail merge. I have Jean. I still have Cassandra. You notice I have Brenda, but I no longer have Nathan Katz. So that's how you're going to skip a record. So that's pretty much it. Have good luck putting together your mail merge. I would highly recommend that the first mail merge that you do, that you watch the video and do the first mail merge together so you can kind of follow along and do it as you go. Anyways, that's it. Have fun.